What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video we finally got one, boys. Yeah, that's right, finally. A Yamaha MT09 in for a ECU Flash and dyno tune. This is a 2019 model. It has a full Akrapovic full exhaust. I'm not sure exactly which model exhaust this is. I know they have several different ones. But this has a pretty big muffler on it. It's pretty quiet right now. So we're gonna put it on there, we're gonna dyno it, we're gonna flash the ECU, remove all the restrictions out of it, see what we get. Then we're going to take it off the dyno and we're going to remove this center cone here, these three little things. Whenever the customer brought it in, I'm like, man, that thing is quiet, you know, and I was like, there's tons of restrictions in this muffler. So we're gonna pull that piece out. Unfortunately, we gotta take it off the dyno and remove the rear wheel or remove the muffler, one of the two, to get to the screws to take that out. Come on, man, making it hard on us. But anyways, we're gonna see what kind of gains that thing does, whether it's worth it to take it in or out. I think it's definitely gonna make a big difference in sound, whether we get more horsepower or not. And as a bonus feature in today's video, yeah, that's right, boys, 2 for the price of 1. You're paying $0 and getting twice the entertainment. So we have got or actually the customer has got, same guy owns both bikes. He came all the way from Tampa, Florida to be with us here at More Mafia. We appreciate that a ton. But he has also got a 2021 BMW S1000RR, full titanium Akrapovic titanium exhaust, and a Bryn Stage 2 ECU Flash and tune. Yeah, that's right, boys. He ain't playing around. He got the super serious toys here. So we're gonna see what kind of power this thing makes, how it stacks up against our beloved Suzukis and Kawasaki's, and see what this thing does. But this guy right here, he is balling out of control. Got 2 bikes, all pretty much matching colors too. All right, enough talk, let's get to work. Before we get too busy, boys, I want to show you my new toy. I just got this thing yesterday. It turned out sick. 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon with the Eco Diesel. Yeah, that's right, boys. Got a diesel in it. We can actually tote these big tires. Carlton Customs has hooked me up with the wheels, tires, lift kit. This thing has got 40-inch tires on it. And turned out super sweet. Anyways, I was just wanting to show you that thing because I thought it kind of sort of matched the bike. Special thanks to Carlton Customs. If you guys got a Jeep, diesel truck, anything, they hook you up, lift kits, wheels, tires, whatever you need, check them out. All right, guys, back to the dyno. All right, guys, here we go. First pull of the MT09. I've never dynoed one of these before, and I haven't hit the record button on the dyno yet, but I did just ride it, run through the gears, and accelerate with it. The thing seems pretty lifeless. The factory ECU, gotta be pulling the restrictions, the exhaust, something. I'm gonna just take a stab at it. 95 horsepower. Let's see how close I am. Super quiet too. All right, guys, so we just got the ECU removed from the MT09, and I wanted to show you a little bit about what's going on in this thing. Okay, so you got power mode standard, power mode A, power mode B. Anyways, we're going to be tuning it in the A mode, and this is the electronic throttle valve, okay, table. And we're gonna go here to gear 5, which is the gear we dynoed it in. but I'm gonna show you all of them, okay? So in the mid-range, in first gear, the thing is not really restricted. In other words, just giving you what you ask for. You go 100% throttle, and at 3,500 RPMs, it's actually giving it 100% throttle, which is not normal with a lot of bikes. A lot of the new bikes today, they have a lot of restrictions and they're not that good. So now let's put it over in ETV gear 5, which is the gear we're dynoing in. And you can see it goes 100% throttle, but up top, it cuts back to 70% throttle. Come on, Yamaha. Hey, new phone, guys. For those of you who've been trying to get more Mafia, of course I can't answer this one, but normally you can get us on the phone now. You know how hard I was to get on the phone before. We just got a brand new cell phone, boys, just for the more Mafia stuff. So if you have it, the phone number's on the website, 864-608-0119. You can hit us up. But anyways, we're gonna be removing the throttle restrictions in this thing, getting this thing opened up. There is a lot more other things we can do, such as lower the fan temps. This is in Celsius, by the way, so that's about 195 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna disable the top speed limiter. We're gonna disable the stock O2 sensor. And then we have the ability to disable the D-cell fuel cut. Now what that means is when you let off the throttle, the fuel injectors, they squirt the bare minimum they can in order to keep the bike smooth. Now sometimes that will cause some backfiring on D-cell. If you don't like that, no big deal, just write that down when you send your notes in with the ECU to be flashed. All you gotta do is write down, I do not like D-cell fuel popping, no popping, slowing down. But another thing too, guys, is the timing tables on this thing. We can adjust all that stuff, and this stuff is heavily restricted. So we're gonna be able to get a good bit more power out of this thing, but I'm really interested to see what it does when we open up that exhaust system. Let's get this ECU Flash and see what we can do with this stuff. All right, guys, first pull on the MT09 after the flashed ECU. I'm not gonna spend tons of time dynoing it and tweaking it in with this thing in there. We're gonna make a few pulls, get it right, get it close. Then we're gonna remove this thing so we can see how much power it makes. We're about to put the BMW on here in just a second. As soon as we take this off to remove that muffler piece. After this pull, we're taking it off, we're doing that muffler, we're also putting the BMW on, so stay tuned. Curve is nice and straight. Alright guys, I said guys, I just found out we got girls that watch the channel too. Shout out to all the ladies on the channel. Guys and girls. girls, we just got the BMW S1000RR 2021 all strapped up on the dyno. This thing is a super nice looking bike. First initial impressions, it sounds extremely angry. So we're about to see what this thing makes. What do you guys guess? I'm gonna go out on the limb and say 203. So let's see what we got. Brim tune, stage 2 tune. It does just have 93 octane pump gas. So we're gonna see what this thing's all about. It is in race mode too. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're at it. BMW 190 horsepower. So this is with the Brim Stage 2 Flash. This is on pump gas, and it was dynoed on race mode. All right, so just for fun, we're gonna leave this up on the screen, and we're gonna pull up a GSXR 1000 2017 model that I just tuned the other day, and we're gonna overlay it. It was on pump gas. It had a Sprint air filter, and the velocity stacks, it had a few modifications, but it had a Brock's Performance exhaust system. Now, we're gonna show the red line is the BMW, and then the blue line is the tuned GSXR 1000, just so we can see kind of, for instance, what the power differences are between the Suzuki versus the BMW. And then, let's go ahead and do this now. We're going to pull up my 2021 Kawasaki ZX-10R. Now, we got the 2017 Suzuki. That's just because that was one I just remember doing the other day. That was a pretty equal bike. If I'm not mistaken, no, it had the Brock's exhaust, the Sprint air filter, had all the good stuff on it. Kind of the same as this BMW. But now let's pull up the Kawasaki ZX-10, my 2021 ZX-10R. And it has a Brock's Performance exhaust system as well, but it still has the restricted ECU, okay? So we have not been able to ECU flash it, but we have been able to remove the throttle restrictions on that thing, okay? So anyways, we're gonna pull that up just to kind of see for fun how they all pan out. So you see the Kawasaki is the worst one. The green is the Kawasaki. It made 195 horsepower. So it made the most horsepower out of all of them, but it made the worst down here. Now, keep in mind, this is a untouched ECU. So it's heavily restricted in the low RPMs. We know that for a fact because the bike is literally just feels lifeless down low. The BMW is way stronger down here at the low RPMs. The Kawasaki was at 85, the Suzuki was at 92, the BMW is at 101. That's a big difference. Then you go up here to the top end, and you can see the Kawasaki peaks at 195 and then falls off quickly due to the limited restrictions in the ECU, the timing restrictions, the air fuel sucks. There's a lot of different things going on. The Suzuki, of course, I had it dialed in just perfect, 188 horsepower, and it has the nice, most smoothest, even power curve out of all of them. Either way, pretty cool comparison. All on the same dyno, not all on the same day, of course. The GSX-R and the Kawasaki were done on cooler days. Try to be truthful with you guys. We can actually show you that now, just so we can see exactly. I'm not trying to say one bike is better versus worse or whatever. So the Kawasaki was actually done on the coldest day. It was done at 52 degrees with 22% humidity. The Suzuki was done at 67 degrees with 6% humidity, and the BMW was done on the hottest day, 75 degrees at 5% humidity, all with a correction, standard correction of 1.02. So, take it for what you want. That's just showing you kind of how they all stack up and how all the bikes match up on the same dyno. Now, which one would you rather have? You saw the horsepower for all three. Which one would you choose? I don't know, guys. You tell me. You know I'm a Suzuki fan. I like a Kawasaki. This BMW sounds super badass. The gauges on it are absolutely insane. I'll show you those gauges right quick. The gauges on this thing, super cool. Woo, she fancy. But anyways, all right, guys, we're gonna get this muffler off this MT09 and see how it does. All right, guys, so we removed the cone, the 3 screws that we thought, well, guess what? That doesn't unbolt the exhaust pipe or the baffle, but we can see here, we're right there. There's a little dimple, and if my camera's not gonna pick it up. Anyways, it's tack welded in there. So we're about to drill through the tack weld. If you got one of these exhausts, like I said, I think this is gonna be a well worth it mod. We're gonna find out here in a minute. Magic Mike is about to do the drilling. And you guys thank this customer for being the guinea pig on this mod, because he said do whatever it takes to get more power out of it. Bad news on the MT09 for the Akrapovic exhaust. That centerpiece does not come out. It is not removable. We took the whole wheel off, took the center cap off, all them screws out. It don't work. It's welded in. Tried to grind the weld down, slide it out, still don't come out. If you have one of these exhausts, you gotta leave that piece in there. Take my word for it. So anyways, we are currently flashing the ECU, dialing in or finally tuning the mid-range and cruising throttle to get this thing as smooth as possible. We're gonna see if we can squeeze a few more ponies out of it. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, let's go for a ride on this thing, see how smooth it is. It's nice air fuel ratio, so I'm gonna hop on here. All right. Guys, just finished up with these bikes on the dyno. We took them out for a test ride, or I took the MT09 out. Dude, this thing is way cooler than I thought. It was way more power. The way this thing makes power, the torque and stuff, the way it comes on, wheelie monster. Super, super fun bike. I really like that thing. I can see why these things have such a big following now. As far as the BMW S1000, big power for that, as usual for a typical BMW. But go back into the MT09. I wanted to show you kind of the gains we got with this thing. We went from a baseline pull of 105 horsepower to 114 horsepower, and it's basically all in the top end. So not only did we gain 9 horsepower, but we also increased about 25 miles per hour in 5th gear. So our top speed essentially is going to be 25 miles per hour in 6th gear, higher as well. So I didn't actually run it in 6th to get an actual top speed, but I can definitely tell you we made a big difference because we deleted the top speed limiter and we took all those throttle restrictions off. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button. As always, guys, we appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel. We do content like this all the time. For those of you who are new, welcome to the party. All right, guys, see you next time.